Now, he's the cabinet minister who's campaigned tirelessly to make work pay. But the people who get up at 3 a.m. to vacuum the carpet in Iain Duncan Smith's office say they can't survive on the wages they get. And they've told him so in no uncertain terms in a letter they left on his desk. Today, Channel 4 News met two of the cleaners who signed that letter to hear their stories of in-work poverty at the department that's meant to be eradicating it. Here's our business correspondent, Sarah Smith.
This has helped you?
Iain Duncan Smith says it's his mission to make work pay, persuading the unemployed they'd be better off with a job. So it must have been a shock to find a letter left on his desk, signed by 64 of the people who clean his offices, complaining that they cannot live on the wages they're paid by the Department for Work and Pensions.
You saw him one day?
Today I met one of the cleaners who signed that letter. She's frightened she might get sacked if we identify her. And she can't afford to lose her job, even if she can't survive on her low wages.
With what you're paid, can you manage on the amount of money you're paid?
No, always a struggle to pay my bills. As soon as the money comes in on Friday, every 2 weeks, on Monday there's no money in the bank. I feel tired and depressed because I can't pay my bills. I don't want to think about it. I prefer not to think because I want to cry.
The letter she signed said, "Every morning we clean these offices and these hallways. Our hard work helps you do your job properly and comfortably. However, because of our pay, we're struggling every day to buy the things we need."
Were you nervous about signing this letter?
Of course, I did feel very nervous and scared because maybe I'm going to lose my job. But what can I do? We need to do something. Someone must do something.
The people who clean inside the Department for Work and Pensions are employed by a private contractor who pays most of them the minimum wage of £6.08 an hour. But to earn what's considered a living wage, you have to earn £8.30 in London or £7.20 outside, and that's what the cleaners are asking for. Felix Ojo let me see some of his pay slips, his bills and bank statements to show he couldn't survive on £6.08 an hour. He left his job cleaning the Department for Work and Pension offices yesterday. Now he's looking for work that pays a bit more so he can try and repay money he's had to borrow.
At times I borrow money to buy bus pass. At times I borrow money to buy foodstuff as well. Because the moment I pay the house rent, I buy bus pass, everything is finished.
But if you're borrowing money because you don't have enough to pay the bills, how can you ever pay that money back?
That is the problem. I have a lot of bad debt.
I've seen a copy of the letter that was left on Iain Duncan Smith's desk, and the cleaners sign off by saying, "We ask that you meet with us and hear why this is so important to us as human beings." Well, they're still waiting for a response to that. When I spoke to the department today, they told me they do make sure all their cleaning staff are paid the legal national minimum wage. Well, of course they do. They have to. That's the law. What the people who clean their offices are asking is that they be paid a wage they can actually live on rather than just that bare legal minimum. Iain Duncan Smith is said to be quietly sympathetic, but won't take action because he's worried it could cost the taxpayer millions of pounds if he puts up his cleaners' wages.
Sarah Smith reporting.